Hello everyone, I'm Andrei, developer evangelist here at Content, and today I'm here with Martin Malinovsky. Martin, can you introduce yourself and say a few things about you?
My name is Martin Malinovsky. I'm a content product manager, and I'm responsible mainly for a business user experience, which means actually the experience of our business users, the marketers, content authors, content strategists, etc.
Sounds good. And we're here today to talk a bit about Web Spotlight and no-code solutions. Now, what I can say from my experience, I see no-code as something that you install somewhere, and whenever you need to build landing pages, you need to build websites or anything, you don't need to code anything. Everything is in the system, and you don't need to touch code. How do you see no-code, Martin?
Yeah, every time I hear about the no-code solution, I imagine the the application like a Dreamweaver or the old school web designing tools which you just install and that's it. But today it's from my point of view it's a bit different. It really depends on the point of view of different users of the solution. Because still it could be a no-code solution for marketers, for example, but still you probably would need some kind of technical people or developer to set up the tool, at least set up and make sure that everything will be fine. And then the business user, marketer, can use it as a no-code solution. He can just be creative, agile, flexible, and do whatever he or she likes, but still it's necessary to set it up. Honestly, I do not believe in the solutions that you will just install and it works like a charm.
Right. And whenever there is a solution like that, it takes significant effort to actually set it up in a way that you are happy with, essentially. But what I wanted to talk about today is also Web Spotlight. Now, Web Spotlight is a feature of content that is designed to kind of bridge the gap between marketers and developers, because you will always need a developer to implement the website, implement the components that he can then easily use. Do you see Web Spotlight that way, or where do you see the main use case?
Yeah, exactly. I think that you hit it correctly. That the reason why we've introduced the Web Spotlight, I think it's something like a year and a half ago, was exactly to bridge the gap between the, let's say, traditional web CMS systems like a WordPress and the headless CMS systems, because it's not unusual that we were hearing from our customers before Web Spotlight, mainly the business users, that they just feel they lost the functionality. They are not so flexible as they've been before. And as we were going deeper in talks with those customers, we've realized just a few simple facts, that they were used by last almost 15 years to work with the Visual solutions, and now with the Headless CMS, we are just telling them there is no Visual anymore, and you have to think about objects and relationship and a bit more technical things than just creatively click into page and just set up a new page by a few clicks in Visual Editor. So the Web Spotlight was introduced to bridge this gap. So in the background, there's still a headless CMS without any compromises, but it's actually the different user interface for the business users, so they can actually build the content within the headless CMS, but with the UI patterns similar to what they were used to before.
Right. So it's mainly targets web projects, right? Because Headless CMS can be used for many projects, not just websites.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that we do know that still the majority of our customers, despite they have multiple channels, everybody has a website. And they need to manage a website, and they have different channels that they are using the same content for social media, for mobile applications, for smartwatch applications, etc. For print, for example. But still, the most of them still managing a website, and they just feel they cannot be so efficient as they were used to be before the headless CMS.
Right. So you're saying that the editors can go in the Headless CMS and change or build the website there visually. So how does that work? Can you show me how that works?
Yeah, I can. So as you can see on my screen, the Web Spotlight is actually in the add-on for content, and there's a few important parts. The first one is actually something very typical for the web content management systems, and that's some kind of hierarchy of pages or items. So the content editors can use it for example, for building a navigation. So as you can see in this example, that's a navigation of the page, which is visible as well here. So they can use this tree to quickly go through the pages, and as you can see, it's immediately reflected into preview tab on the right side. Yeah, so I can just browse through the pages just by clicking inside the tree.
Cool, and I see directly which pages are published and which are in draft. I assume those are the red and green icons there?
Yeah, the green icons just it's published, and if there's other icons like red is draft, I think that black is archived, and there's a few more colors to immediately provide a clue in what stage or status is the page right now.
Now let's say I wanna adjust the text or switch or add a component to the page. How, as an editor, well, I find the page here, obviously in the tree, but how do I adjust it?
Yeah, for this we've introduced the SmartLink SDK, which is a SDK your developer has to put into a preview side. That's what I've mentioned. That is necessary to set it up, and then I can just enable editable elements. And from this moment, I can just easily go through the page, and okay, let's say I want to edit this title here, and as you can see, it's in context editor opened, and it's automatically scrolled to the specific sentence.
So I assume you can do this only on pages that are in draft, right?
Yeah, of course, because if the page is published, you cannot edit the page, which is right now published.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's say that I will edit it something here. Yeah, so I will click on this title, so and in context editor is opened, and I will be focused automatically to the correct sentence. Okay, so I will remove this word here. And as you can see, the changes are being propagated to the API, and changes are ready, and the page is automatically refreshed. Yeah,
nice. And this, what is the technology behind this page? Is that a server rendered page or?
Yeah. This is a server rendered page, and as I mentioned, there's a SmartLink SDK, which takes care about the communication between the content application, specifically Web Spotlight in this case, and the server directly. So if we are doing some changes in the content, which are propagated to a preview API, the server application is notified, and whenever it's ready on their side, it will just trigger auto refresh of page automatically.
Okay. Now, can you show me how you add a new component? Let's say when we're building a landing page, we want to add some components or change order of components to kind of build the page.
Yeah.
Can you show me how to do that?
Of course. Again, I can use in context editor here to show you, for example, how to change the order of the components easily. I can just drag and drop this component and put the portfolio directly below the hero unit. Wait a few seconds until the changes are propagated through the API, and whenever auto refresh is done, we will see a different order of the pages, of the blocks. Yeah, so the portfolio is here, and the highlighted products it's in a bit below. But if I would like to add a new page, the building block of the page, I can use this nice circle red or green button, which is called insert. And let's say I want to insert a new component. And here I can see the list of the components created by a development team in advance. And those components are ready for marketers to be used directly specifically for page building. So let's say we will add a About Us component. Now I just need to fill a few mandatory fields for this block. Okay, let's scroll a bit down. Okay, so as I said, it's About Us section. About Us. I think that there's the fields, it's not a mandatory. And as you can see, the page is building updated automatically in the background as I'm doing editing. Mm-hmm. And here is the new About Us section. Yeah.
Cool. And that was really easy.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, it requires some support from development team to set it up. But it's just to set it up, and then they can hand over the solution to marketers to start using and enjoying the flexibility of the Web Spotlight and the page building capabilities.
Right. And one last thing I wanted to ask, if you're an editor and you're browsing through the website, maybe not in the CMS UI, but on the website itself, and you find a page, right? And you want to change that page, but you don't know, maybe you're new or you haven't spent too much working through the Headless CMS yet. Is there a way how you can edit that page without spending a half an hour searching for it in the CMS?
Of course, that's one of the most typical cases that content editors are dealing with because to find the right content to work with, it's a critical part of their job. So as I've already shown to you, you can use a page tree if you are able to find it here. But what's from my point of view even better, so I will just disable the editable elements, and from this moment I can just freely browse through the page. Mm-hmm. So if I found something wrong on production, I can just switch to the preview site and find the same content within the preview site, and through the editable elements just quickly edit whatever I need. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend to add a Smart Link SDK to the production site mm-hmm. for obvious reasons, but it's actually the same page with different. Only difference is that the preview is showing you as well content which is only in draft. Yeah, but if you are able to browse through the page, you can just use this approach as well in Spotlight. And whenever I locate the content I want to edit, I can then just again enable editable elements, mm-hmm. and I can start editing.
Cool. That looks really good. And then you need developers only when you want new components, right? You can build the landing pages on your own, and developers can also limit whatever is displayed on the website because they get the types, and they can ensure that the website is always consistent. That looks really good. So do you think that Web Spotlight can actually serve marketers as a no-code solution?
Definitely. I think if you are speaking about the marketers, definitely, because as we've discussed, for marketers they can just build the page from the blocks or predefined by the developers. If we would be speaking about developers, they still need to define those blocks, define the designs, decide how it should be displayed in different resolutions, for example. But it's not necessary for marketers to think about. They can just build the pages and rely on the developers and designers that the front-end application will just work.
Right. And speaking for developers, I think that we like to be in control, so I think that's fine. Now, Martin, last question. If people want to contact you or get in touch with you, ask something about Web Spotlight, how is the best way they can reach you?
The best way, I think, is you can just send me an email to address martin.malenovsky@kentico.com.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you very much for showing us Web Spotlight, and hopefully we'll get more excited marketers using that feature.